Good evening, friends. Welcome to the PANSIGHT webinar. Let me start the presentation right away. Today's topic is Wisdom Quotient. Purpose of this webinar: enable you to increase your wisdom quotient and decrease your stress quotient. This webinar is based on FEQT, facts, experience from my personal life as well as from the lives of others, quotations and thoughts. Let me start with first quotation. This quotation is about facts. Facts are facts and will not disappear on account of your likes. Those are the words of Jawaharlal Nehru. My dear friends, I'll be sharing many facts during this session. Some facts may be unpleasant, bitter for some people. But please remember Nehru's words: facts are facts. They don't change because of your likes or dislikes. No wisdom, no success. No success, no happiness. Simple. If your wisdom quotient is low, the probability of achieving success and happiness also will be very low. Success and happiness, they depend on wisdom. Proverb and quotations are pearls of wisdom. They can enlighten you and empower you. My dear friends, the secret behind my success and happiness is over a period of 40 years, I have collected more than 50,000 proverbs and quotations. They're all pearls of wisdom. And that wisdom has helped me cope with many adversities, hardships, challenges, problems in my personal and professional life. A proverb is a short sentence based on long experience. I'll give one example to convince you the validity of that statement. I'm sure that most of you must have heard the proverb, actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Real life example. It's a fact. So I'm going to give the real name also. Arvind Kejriwal, the high academic qualifications, IIT product, and he was a senior bureaucrat. And he made many allegations against Sheila Dikshit, the former Chief Minister of Delhi, of corruption. And he promised that he will fight against corruption. That was his promise. And people believed that promise. And he was elected to power. Now what is happening? The very same person who made those loud claims is actions. They are contradicting the words. That's why actions speak louder than words. Don't blindly believe words. Observe, watch the actions. I told you, my hobby is reading. It's one of my hobbies, and every day I end up collecting 5 to 10 proverbs and quotations. Proverbs, if you Google, you can find African proverbs, Chinese proverbs, Japanese proverbs, English proverbs, thousands of proverbs. Same way quotations also. If you go to a website called Brainy Quote, thousands and thousands of quotations on hundreds of different topics like success, failure, anger, luck. Numerous quotations. I read those quotations. Those quotations are pearls of wisdom. I am empowered with wisdom gained from those proverbs and quotations. I have shared this secret of my success and happiness. Data is not information. Information is not knowledge. Knowledge is not wisdom. I'll explain that one. Data is nothing but raw alpha numeric values, some numbers and some alphabets. Data. They usually don't make any sense. When you process that data, then that becomes information. Data becomes information. And when you remember that information, retain in your memory, that is when it becomes knowledge. Other information, if you are not able to remember or recall, then there's no knowledge. Knowledge is what is there. It is something like the deposit, fixed deposit account. That is what knowledge is. It is there in your memory. What is wisdom? Wisdom is when that knowledge is mixed with the common sense. Common sense is required to gain wisdom. And common sense comes from experience. Life. From the school of life. Not from textbooks. Formal education is not going to give you any common sense. Simplified definition. Ability to make good judgments based on knowledge gained from education, formal and informal, introspection and experience. Education, formal education is not going to the school, going to the college, passing the examination and getting some qualification, bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD. That's formal education. Formal education may help you to survive. Formal education is not enough if you want to thrive. If you want to thrive, informal education is a must. Self-education. Real life example? Yeah, I'll give you real life example. Steve Jobs. He didn't have any degree in computer science. He was a college dropout. He was a co-founder of Apple Computers. He was able to invent many gadgets, iPhone, iPad, iPod, through self-education. And what about Thomas Alva Edison? His formal schooling was less than 3 months. His mother taught him how to read and write. And he read many books whatever that one, all those reading, that one stimulated his curiosity, interest, and more than 1,000 patents. The electric bulb. Nobody can, that is, forget that particular invention. What about Adani? College dropout. He doesn't have a degree. One of the top 5 richest or top 10 richest persons in the world. Henry Ford, no qualification in automobile engineering, a 10th grader. Ambani, 10th grader. So I believe that I have convinced you about the need and necessity to empower yourself through self-education. Formal education? No, it's not enough. Then introspection. Introspection is thinking, analysis, analytical thinking, critical thinking. And if you make any mistakes, try to learn lessons from those mistakes. What do many people do? They immediately blame somebody else. They won't take responsibility for their failures or mistakes. You are never going to gain. You will never gain wisdom. You will keep on repeating the same mistake again and again. Three products of low WQ, wisdom quotient, are: one, low IQ, intelligence quotient. Many people think that, okay, he passed with the first class, got first rank, so he must be very intelligent. No. People confuse memorizing ability with intelligence. Exams, they test your ability to remember and recall. Exams don't test your intelligence. So low intelligence quotient. Low EQ, emotional intelligence. Yeah. People, they don't know how to get along with other people. Look at the politicians. They have high EQ. But many other academicians, even many doctors, engineers, their EQ is very low. And low SQ, stress quotient. So the wisdom quotient, it matters a lot. High wisdom quotient that lead to high IQ, high EQ, high SQ. And low WQ, wisdom quotient, is the root cause behind almost all physical, mental, and emotional health problems. My dear friends, almost 90% of the health problems now are because of low wisdom quotient. All these lifestyle disorders, eating junk food, smoking, drinking, sedentary life habits, health problems. A old story. King Solomon, 2 women, a baby, they claimed that they were the mothers of a baby. So Solomon had to give his verdict, his judgment. What did he do? It happened in the BC era. Now, only in the 20th or late 20th century, we have the DNA test. It was not available then. So how do you know who is the real mother? What did he do? Okay, he asked the soldier to cut the baby into half and give each piece half to each woman. Then what happened? The real mother, she immediately cried, no, please, don't cut my baby. Give that baby to the other woman. Solved problem. That is wisdom. And you don't gain from any books. That is one example. There are numerous stories. We don't have that much time. Some of you must have read the Akbar, Birbal stories. You can see some crows, Akbar, Birbal. Birbal was a person with a lot of wisdom. Birbal was able to give answers to many tricky questions. And he was able to solve many difficult problems using his wisdom. In that story, when Akbar and Birbal, they were walking in the garden, Akbar sometimes asked silly and stupid questions. So he asked Birbal, "Hey Birbal, how many crows are there in our kingdom?" Birbal, without any hesitation, he told him, "There are 900,482. Akbar was stunned. Akbar knew that he was lying. So he wanted to confront Birbal. He told him, how are you sure is that number? He said, okay, Your Highness, why don't you ask the soldiers to go and count the number of crows? Then Akbar again, he thought, okay, this guy is trying to be smart. What if the number of the crows that number is low? Birbal laughed. They said that, obvious. The crows from our kingdom, they have gone on vacation. They have gone to visit their friends and the relatives in other countries. Akbar again asked, what about if the number is more? Birbal again laughed. He said that, yeah, the crows, their friends and families in other countries, they have come to visit them. Akbar was really impressed. The wisdom of Birbal. My dear friends, it is worth reading that Akbar Birbal stories now. I must have read those stories at least 4 or 5 times. You can get a lot of wisdom by reading those stories. I like this quote very much. Wisdom does not automatically come with old age. Nothing does, except wrinkles and gray hair. This is an illusion, a wrong belief. Yeah, old age brings wisdom. People who are old are very wise. No. Old age comes without any effort. If you are alive, you don't die, you will one day become old. No effort is required. Whereas wisdom comes only with effort. There are plenty of elderly people who are stupid, unwise. I'll share some real life stories later, incidents. Wisdom consists of the anticipation of consequences. Norman Cousins. Before you do something, you must think twice or thrice the impact, the consequences of your action. Many people, they don't do that. Before they buy a house, first question, do I need a 3,000 square footage house? Because I have only one son or one daughter. And why do I need a big house with 3 or 4 bedrooms? It will cost a lot of money. And if I'm going to borrow money from the bank, I'll have to pay every month. If I'm not able to pay, then what will happen? People don't think. Big apartments, 1 crore, 2 crores. And they go into deep debt. They make their own life a hell because of low wisdom quotient. I'm going to share a real life story. In order to protect the privacy and identity, I won't be disclosing the real names. Two software engineers, they came to my state here in USA 3 years back. They are in their 30s. They are married. They had one child, each one. And they were hired by, I think, Google. Salary, $80,000 per year. So after the income tax, you'll get $60,000 per year. And in my place, you can rent a 2-bedroom apartment. They rent, it may range from $900 to $1,500. The first guy, I'm changing the name, Suresh. What did he do? He rented an apartment, $900 per month. And he bought a cell phone for himself and for his wife, a Motorola phone that cost around $200 each. And for his son, he didn't throw a big birthday party. He took his son to the temple, and they had a family dinner. That's all. What about the other guy, second guy, Ramesh? He chose a $1,500 rent apartment. And he bought iPhone for himself and for his wife. Each piece costing more than $1,000. And he threw a lavish birthday party to celebrate his son's birthday. He invited some 30 families. And he booked a hall, community hall. And he bought food catering service. 100 people showed up. Food itself, $50 per person, $5,000. Then the rent for that community hall, close to, I would think, $6,000. And he bought a brand new Tesla car, which cost $60,000, whereas Suresh, he bought a used Toyota Corolla car for just $15,000. So at the end of the year, Suresh had a savings of $40,000. The living expense was $20,000. So $20,000 out of $60,000, $40,000. What about Ramesh? Because he spent a lot of money lavishly. The rent itself, by way of rent itself, he spent more than $7,000. An expensive car. So he had a savings of some $15,000. Suresh had $40,000, Ramesh had $15,000. And 1 year later, both of them, they came on H-1B visa. And both of them were at the knowledge or aware of the fact H-1B is a temporary visa. And if they lose their job, and if they are not able to find a new job from a new employer within 60 days, they'll have to go back to India. And this Suresh, he was buying a house. And he bought a house with a swimming pool. And he paid some $400,000. And mortgage monthly, more than $3,000. And he took many pictures. And he shared it in the social media, Facebook, and sent that picture to his friends and family members to make them feel jealous. Oh, this guy is highly successful. And posed with his Tesla car. Then at the end of 2 years, both of them lost their jobs. You know, this Google, Infosys, periodically they say, yeah, 5,000 employees or jobs gone. So now Suresh, he had a savings of $80,000, that is nearly 65 lakhs. What about this Ramesh? He had to sell his house in distress sale. He had to pay for $300,000, $400,000. Some people are willing to buy it for only $300,000. Car also, distress sale. So he didn't have any savings and he was in debt. So my dear friends, I think that this story is enough to convince you that people with a low wisdom quotient, they develop all sorts of health problems. Is peace of mind gone? Stress, depression, anger, negative emotions. The first guy, Suresh, no problem. Formal education is not going to boost your wisdom quotient. Common sense, life experience. Think about it. Consequences. Look at that one. Freebies will derail the India story. Freebies is good for politics, not it is bad for economics. Now the states like Karnataka, Telangana, Himachal Pradesh, lot of public debt, fiscal deficit, development projects are on hold. What's happening? Country's growth and development. The parties, do they care? What about the voters? Voters are easily manipulated, brainwashed. Get their WQ, wisdom quotient, is very, very low. Our country is going to be in a very bad shape. As to, and again, low wisdom quotient, screen time effects on mental health. Internet addiction, a growing concern in India. These days, parents and grandparents give a mobile phone to a 1-year-old child. As the child uses as a toy, completely addicted to, glued to that screen, and video games. And teenagers also video games. And the sensational adults again, grown-ups. Sensational news. Internet addiction. It's something like junk food. Sensational news. They're addicted to that one. And many fake news about the medical advice. Oh yes, plenty of advice, fake advice. That is harmful, dangerous, and toxic. Dear parents, grandparents, this should be a thought-provoking. Don't ruin the future of your grandchildren and children. You are or you will be responsible for that. Don't give the cell phone to children. Internet addiction is good for adults if they use that one for reading or watching some quality programs, information, gather information, useful information, and enrich their knowledge base. Okay, online, browse quotations, watch TED Talks. Yes, that is good. I usually spend 3 to 4 hours online. In the WhatsApp, I'm not into all groups. Some people, different groups, WhatsApp, yeah, they scroll WhatsApp messages, they waste their time. Time is the only resource which is fixed. 24 hours. You are not going to get even a single second extra, because even if you are a billionaire, Adani, Ambani, again 24 hours. A beggar, again 24 hours. Use the time wisely. Tell a lie loud enough and long enough, and people will believe it. Hitler was a very smart man. His WQ was very high. He was able to come to power because of high WQ. False propaganda. False propaganda. He was able to brainwash people. And that's what's happening in India also. They make all sorts of false promises. And the voters are brainwashed easily. Lies, lies, lies. Offer 8,500 rupees. Women, we will give you guarantee, written guarantee. Fake promises. Politicians thrive because of their ability to lie, that too loudly. I'm going to show you not only politicians, the cyber criminals. They know how to lie loudly and repeatedly. I'm going to show you real life examples. Kerala bishop duped of 15 lakh rupees by cyber fraudsters. Case filed. This happened just 3 months back in Kerala. Those criminals lied loudly, repeatedly, and he was scared. He was blackmailed. He's not a young guy. With the aging, maturity, wisdom will come with the aging. No. Because these people like bishops, they don't read newspaper. They are not aware of what is going on in the real world. They may be watching some sensational news only. One should make it a habit of reading newspapers to become aware of different kinds of cyber scams. Alappuzha doctor loses over 7 crore rupees in online fraud. You cannot say that person didn't have education. That person is illiterate. No, doctor, all the qualifications. Low WQ. I know plenty of doctors. I have many doctor friends, most of them. They don't read newspapers. They are busy making money. They are not aware of all these cyber scams. Cyber criminals, very easy to cheat them, dupe them. That's what's happening. Read every day, something no one else is reading. Think every day, something no one else is thinking. Do every day, something no one else would be silly enough to do. It is bad for the mind to continually be part of inanimity. My dear friends, I told you every day I end up reading or collecting 10 to 20 quotations and proverbs online again. I choose what to read. I stopped watching TV news 30 years back. I don't. The TV news, you don't have any control over what that guy is going to say. Whether newspaper, online newspaper, I have the control. I know whether I want to read or not. I can choose. I use my time efficiently. I am a knowledge seeker, not information seeker. These days, there's information overload. That's not good. I read. I enrich my knowledge base with hundreds of, over a period of time, I told you, in 40 years, I have collected more than 50,000 quotes and proverbs. Thinking. We don't get any training in how to think. The formal education, the teachers ask you to memorize some information. And the examination, they test your memory power. Real life situations, how to face the challenges It requires thinking. Thinking skills, many people, they don't have. I also didn't have good thinking skills. I was able to develop that one after I read a book. I'm going to share the title of that book. My dear friends, it is worth investing your time and money in getting that book and reading that book. It won't cost a fortune. It may cost maybe some 300 or 400 rupees. Some 300 pages. You can finish reading that book in 1 month. Don't read it in one sitting. Maybe 10 pages a day. You have to digest that one, whatever you have learned. Digest. If you gulp, it won't get digested. 2 books I will recommend. If you want to boost your WQ, Wisdom Quotient, based on my own experience. Please take it seriously. Whole brain thinking. Jacqueline Wonder and Priscilla Donovan. Second book by Dale Carnegie, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Oh, that is a wonderful book that can do miracles for people suffering from stress. Every Thursday, I give a talk, my upcoming talks at 8 p.m. Thick skin quotient. I have heard many people saying that politicians are thick-skinned. Thick-skinned, thick-skinned. As if it is a negative quality. No. Everyone must develop a thick skin. I have developed a thick skin. Learn from the politicians. How often do you hear a news about politicians committing suicide? Rarely. Their life is very stressful, challenging. It's not a secure job. 5 years. If they win election after 5 years again, they may lose. Lot of uncertainties. But they don't commit suicide. They don't suffer from depression. They don't take medication for depression and anxiety. Because of their thick skin. That is what I'm going to share next week. Don't miss that talk. I'm thick-skinned. Then after that, humor quotient. The link is same link every Thursday at 8 p.m. So I have completed my presentation. I believe it's interesting and insightful. Please watch this video when I will be uploading this video and share it with as many people as possible, your friends, near and dear ones, if you want to really help them. It is easy. I get good sleep. I was able to achieve success and I'm happy. I'm not taking any medications. See you on next week, Thursday.